Hello everyone. So it's been about 10 days since I last updated you on my major learning progress. Life has gotten a little bit busy. Between work has been crazy, and my other spring classes have been crazy as well. Just a lot of assignments going on there, and then just extracurricular things that have gotten going on. So life's gotten a little bit crazy. Also, my sister's getting married tomorrow, so and this is the first wedding in our family, so it's been a hectic last week or so, just trying to get ready for that. And I'm in the bridal party, I should say the bridal party. I'm in the groom. I'm a groomsman, and I've never been one of those before, and it's just been a whole new experience. So it's been awesome, and I'm really excited for tomorrow. But needless to say, life has been very, very busy. So the last time that I updated this assignment, I was struggling, and so I had been doing the Twitter challenges, and it finally caught up to me in the sense that what I was challenged to do, my skills and abilities just weren't good enough to complete those. So there was a few of them that I spent a lot of time on. There was two in particular, where I honestly spent like 2 hours trying to make these things, and couldn't do it. Last update was really a learning experience in the sense that I realized that my skills aren't maybe as good as I thought they would be, and the challenges were over my head a little bit. I also started to realize that the paper I'm using probably isn't the best paper for what the challenges are. So I bought this book when I started this. I ordered this offline. Um, but it's very cheap, and it's great. It's origami paper, and it's perfectly square, which is essential. You have to have perfectly square paper to do this origami. However, it's very thin, and it's very flimsy, and I've noticed in the videos that I'm watching with some of these more complicated pieces of origami, the paper they seem to be using is a lot stiffer, um, and when they're making these folds, they're a lot crisper, as well as with these hard ones. Some of these crazy things like unicorns or crocodiles or things like that, there can be up to 100 folds that are needed to complete that piece. And the paper that I have, by the end of it, it's falling apart. And that's been one of the major challenges for me. When you watch them in the video, they're doing everything so simple and so crisp, and all their lines and folds and creases are so nice and tight, and it keeps the piece together. And as I'm going along, my paper is ripping and it's falling apart, and it's just not good. I don't know, in elementary school, I don't know if everyone's ever done this, but we used to take pieces of loose leaf and we'd crumple them up into a little ball, and then you'd uncrumple it, and then you'd do it again, and you'd see how soft you could get that piece of loose leaf. And that's what I'm reminded of. So, by the time I get to that 30, 40, or 50th fold in some of these pieces, my paper is falling apart and it's basically becoming not usable. And so that's been a challenge to that as well. And I really started to notice that. So perfectly square, which is nice, but not thick enough. It's very tough for me to do some of these really tricky ones with that type of paper. So exploring some options for the last few weeks here. If I'm going to try and use a different paper or just try and do different things. But that's definitely a challenge, especially when you think that by the time you get into those end stages of some of those complicated ones, one wrong fold can throw the whole thing off. Um, Especially when your paper is trying to fold in the wrong way and it's really thin and the paper's just mush basically, and all of a sudden it rips once, throws the whole thing off. Or you make one wrong fold, and because the paper's so soft, there's just creases where there can't be a crease, and that's been very challenging with that. So I wanted to kind of get back to the basics this week of these last 10 days. So this book came with the paper that I ordered. It's called Easy Origami. Um, and so my goal for this next update is I want to do this whole book. And there's about 40 different things in here. And they start off very, very easy. So, for example, this is a dog. Pretty easy. Just a couple of folds. You can see there. Here's a cat. I try to match the style of paper to what I'm making sometimes. This is a fish. So as you can see, these are very, very basic. And I'll show you in the book here. When you're making those types of things, for example, the dog, there's 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's it. And then the cat, there's 10 steps. So very basic. It starts off very, very basic. But it does progress within the book. Some of the end ones, they're not as crazy as the ones I've been trying on the internet, on YouTube and things like that. But they do get a little more challenging. So for example, there is the fancy box, which is the last one in the book. And it's 17 steps. And you can see the instructions are, kind of complicated. So there's a little bit more that goes into things like that. And so this is what it turns out to be. It's kind of a difficult thing to make, but it ended up cool. And what I liked about doing this book is with those ones on YouTube that I'm really struggling to do, you get frustrated and you start not to enjoy the process. And when you're doing things like this, there's a couple of steps where it throws you off, but I'm figuring it out and I'm not getting frustrated, which is nice. So this is a fancy box. This is a piano that I made. So with this piano, you actually make a house. It's somewhere, I can't remember how it goes back, but you start by making a house. You transform the house into a piano, which is kind of cool. This one is called, I forget what it's called, Cicada, which I don't know what it is. Cicada. And it turns out like this. To me, it looks like either, I don't know, maybe a flower. I'm not sure. If you can tell me what a cicada is, that's fantastic. I also made a hat. So there's the hat. You can see it's right up there nice. It's a work in progress. And so the hat, I'll show you the instructions because, they were. There's quite a bit to it, 13 steps. So when you see things like this, place your finger inside to open the hat. You find those on a lot of them. I found that there's the end step on the fancy box is you gotta place your finger inside and kind of pull and shape the box, and those are very hard. And that's another thing with this book is it's not a video. Videos I like better because you can stop them, you can go back. Books, there's just pictures. There's no other way to see it. So that's a challenge. But this allowed me to really get back to the basis because last week was frustrating. It's frustrating, not only from the origami standpoint because I couldn't do what I was asked to do, but just that very concept that, people challenged me to things and I wasn't able to do them. It's not like I feel like I let people down. I mean, this is a major learning project for fun. We're trying to learn new things, and I'm definitely learning new things. But when I get a goal, I want to complete it, and I wasn't necessarily able to. So I went back to the basics. I had this resource that I bought, and I'd never used it. So I decided, why not do it? So I did complete this entire book. I won't show you all 40 of the things that are here. I mean, there's a penguin. There's a horse. Oh, it was in my bag, so it's a little crumpled, but there's a horse. A rabbit. I mean, there's millions. There's 40 different ones that I made over the course of the last 10 days. And usually I'd make 1 or 2 a night. Some nights I'd make, 8 or 10 when I had more time. But so life has been, like I said, a little bit busy. But there is still work being done, and life is slowing down after this weekend. So I really want to dedicate more time to doing some bigger things and trying different things out, and I don't want to give up on the challenge thing because I like that. I just have to figure out a better way to do it that I can actually do. So that's it for now, and hopefully I'm updating you again soon. Thanks.